Hello and welcome to CEMTV News at 6. Sincere apologies for coming behind schedule. I am Francis Oyima, Edit. Let's take a look at the headlines. Governor Fubara received Vice President Shatima to the inauguration of 33.5-kilometer Elele Omudioga Ebede Ikeri Omoku Road. Federal government urges states to support repatriation efforts of South Africa returnees. Plus, Gaza holds mass funeral for 50 Palestinians killed in Israeli war. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in just a moment. Please stay. Many thanks for joining us on the news. We begin the news from Rivers State, where the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, has welcomed the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, to the state for the inauguration of the 33.5-kilometer Elele Omudioga Ebede Ikiri Omoku Road. The road project, which was flagged off by the Fubara administration in May 2024, is a major infrastructure initiative aimed at improving transportation, connecting communities and boosting economic activities across the affected areas. Andalin Chikozie now completes the report. Meanwhile, stakeholders and residents of communities along the Umuoku Ebeda Emoha Road in Rivers State have commended Governor Siminalayi Fubara for the successful completion and commissioning of the road project. Speaking during the commissioning, Governor Fubara described the project as a significant achievement, noting that the road was technically demanding as it involved not only a dual carriageway but also bridge construction across waterways. Ike Chinemerem Road now reports.
Fubara expressed appreciation to the contractor for delivering the project according to specification and also thanked the host communities for their cooperation throughout the construction period. The governor also highlighted the security importance of the road, recalling reports of criminal activities including kidnapping and theft previously experienced along the route. He said the newly constructed road drainage systems and street lights would help improve security and reduce criminal activities in the area. Speaking with CEMTV after the commissioning, stakeholders expressed their gratitude to the governor, saying the completed road had opened up several communities and improved movement, trade, and other economic activities. A driver who spoke with the crew said the project had significantly eased transportation. According to him, the road was previously characterized by bad portions and was particularly unsafe at night due to criminal activities. Stakeholders thanked Governor Fubara for the completed project, describing the Omoko-Egbeda-Emoha Road as a major development that would benefit communities across the area.
If you come here in the night, you will see that everywhere is clean, like the light is so shining. So we appreciate our governor similarly for giving us the opportunity to have a good and access road like this from Elele down to Omok. So we appreciate God. I would like governor to create job opportunity because I'm a graduate. I finished school in 2022. I'm not working. So if governor can create job and employ youth, we'll be happy so that all of us can benefit.
Our governor, Ebena Feston, is the only one that we love. He tried too much, he tried a lot for us. This road is a very nice road. The road brings development to us. Bring more development, bring more people to come and go to our land. Without this road, no movement. Some governors come, but they couldn't do it for us. Based on our first son, Fubara help us and do it. That's why we love Fubara. I wish governor will help us to do that LLA to alumni to help us. I'm not from Ikoreo, I'm not from alumni, but I'm from Emoha Egbeda. This is our yard, this is my community. But we so much love governor. If governor will approve that road for us, I will so much love this.
I feel so good because it is okay for me because me I be driver. So before they never do this road, if I dey come this road, gallop, dust, everything. But thank God for today, from LLA to Omok, now one way. So the road is smooth, everything. Thank God for governor. As governor, take remember this side, say okay, make you do something for us. So I really thank God. That opportunity not be everywhere go reach, but thank God say the opportunity reach somewhere like this. Before this road, you not fit pass from LLA to Omok, you not fit pass because the road is well. And again, boys they stop for the road. And for now they don't do the road now. See, if you come here for night, if you never say they don't dark. Everywhere else they see where.
We now take you back to the report by Endalin Chikozie on the Governor Similai Fuber receiving the Vice President for the inauguration of the road project, talking about the 33.5 kilometer Elele Umudioga Ebede Ikiri Umoku Road.
Speaking on the importance of the project, the chairman of Elele local government area, Sachidi Lloyd, commended the state government for the initiative. He said the road would significantly improve movement of people and goods while creating greater opportunities for residents and businesses along the corridor.
It is not significant because we are commissioning the Elele Obudioga Ababu Itu, Ebeda, Ubimini, Ikiri, and Omok Road. A project that will open our communities, ease transportation, and boost our economy because of what it represents. Psalm 113 verse 1 says, and I quote, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity."
The Rivers State Commissioner for Works Engineer Professor Temple Umofo gave details of the project, explaining the scope of construction and the engineering work undertaken to deliver the road. He noted that the project was designed to provide a durable and reliable transport route while improving connectivity between Elele, Omodioga, Egbeda, Ikiri, and Omoko.
The dimensions of the bridge work are a 99-meter and 11-meter width, including shoulders and a parapet wall. Finally, culverts are constructed at specific areas and street lights all through the length of the 33.5 kilometer roadwork. This project was awarded to Mr. Crimble Construction Company on the 26th of March 2024 with a project duration of 24 months. The State Ministry of Works has ensured that the project was executed in accordance with approved engineering specifications and quality standards, with emphasis on durability, proper drainage, and structural integrity. Your Excellencies, this project execution is complete and ready for commissioning and for the use and benefit of the good people of the benefiting communities that make up the 3 local government areas of Rivers State.
Representative of Chamber Construction Company Limited, Mr. Joe Abbo, also provided further details on the construction process. He expressed satisfaction with the successful completion of the project, noting that the work was executed with attention to quality and durability.
We thank your government for entrusting this very strategic and important project to our company. We would also like to use this opportunity to thank the stakeholders, the chiefs, and the citizens of the state for their cooperation and support during the execution of this project.
Addressing the gathering, River State Governor Sir Siminalayi Fubara said his administration remained committed to delivering critical infrastructure that would have a direct impact on the lives of residents. Governor Fubara said the completion of the road demonstrated his administration's determination to provide projects that would promote economic development, improve connectivity, and enhance the quality of life of the people. The governor thanked the people of the affected communities for their support and cooperation throughout the construction period.
The technicality of this project, I don't know what to dwell on it. Like I said, the commissioner has enumerated on it. It is a 33.5 kilometer road, and they also has a river crossing bridge. For anybody who understands the nature of this road, will appreciate what we have done here. It's not just a project, it's a statement that was made to show our people, the three local governments, the benefits, the communities that are most close to this project, that we care for you and your concerns are our concern. We already know what normally happens in this road. It is a corridor for kidnapping. It is also a very big corridor for bunkering. I'm very, very convinced that with what we have done today, those things will be things of the past. Security agencies can operate effectively along this corridor. Even the activities of the men of the underworld will be limited because they operate where there is bad road. They operate where normal life does not exist. In this project, we have lights from the beginning to the end. So even in the night, it is properly illuminated.
A special guest of honor, Vice President Kashim Shettima, in his goodwill message, congratulated the River State government and the people of the state on the completion of the project. Shettima commended the state government for investing in infrastructure, describing the road as an important project that would contribute to economic growth and improve the welfare of residents. The Vice President assured the River State government and the people of the federal government's continued commitment to supporting development initiatives that promote connectivity, commerce, and national economic growth.
This achievement reminds us that governance is a continuum. One administration lays the foundation, another strengthens it, and the people remain the final beneficiaries. That continuity is how public service earns meaning and citizens receive the respite they deserve. We can now look forward to farmers moving produce faster and with fewer losses, traders reaching larger markets, businesses reducing logistic costs, and families recovering hours once surrendered to difficult travel. For communities along these axis, development has acquired an address closer to home. Public infrastructure must be judged by the lives it improves. Concrete and asphalt matter because of what they permit citizens to do with their time.
The inauguration marks another milestone in the development of road infrastructure in Rivers State, with the residents and businesses expected to benefit from improved transportation and easier movement of goods and services along the 33.5-kilometer corridor.
Meanwhile, Port Harcourt-based photographers of the hemispheres that artificial intelligence AI poses a threat to the photography profession, saying the technology can instead be used to enhance the industry. The photographers spoke with CEMTV News in commemoration of World Photography Day, while reflecting on the evolution of photography from the analog era to the digital age. Anogo Choma Stephanie now completes the report.
Speaking on his journey into photography, Mr. Leonard Rufus said his passion for the profession began from watching his father sell photography equipment. He explained that photography has not only provided him with a career, but has also enabled him to build a family and make several investments from its proceeds. On government support for the industry, Rufus said the government has provided an enabling environment for photographers, stressing that the major challenge is the prevalence of quackery. He called for greater professionalism in the industry, noting that many people operating as photographers are not adequately trained.
I've taught so many people graphics. I do a whole lot. I do graphic design, photography, video making, and the rest, and so far. So a lot of people have been coming here to learn. So many photographers come to learn how to snap, how to balance color. I have different cameras. I play with cameras very well. So a lot of people have come here, learn, and become good, and they are doing well. So most of them are married, they're doing well. Like that, I have some boys here still learning, even one behind me, even ladies are learning. People are coming to learn. Yes. At the spot now, I have like 5 people learning. Yes. If you're not a professional, if it is not your job, don't do anything. From maybe it's wedding, maybe it's birthday ceremony or anything. If you want to get the back shoot off anything, or you want to get anything about, meet the official photographer, please take me with these people. Fine. They pay. Then every photographers that they are paying to must have a site where you tell the person, madam, if you are, because the word now is online and everything. Sorry, go to my page. That's my office, everything. Pay. If you're paying 20, you pay, fine. You're doing 2 pictures, fine, 20K, take. Then you go, come to the office and you get it. Simple. Not that will be in a haste. Like everybody just want to make money. Because when you get to event, you see more than 40 photographers. You are snapping, they are snapping. You are doing this, they are doing this. It makes the work. No. Sometimes when you come, before you come, they've printed. The person that had the wedding was like, you get a picture where I collect from one boy, better pass your own. Then the competition comes in. Then you now try to go back again to reframe and do more editing with more stress, and you pay more people. Yes, because definitely if you know your camera there are some cameras that some people use is not good. Then that person that is even coming to do conference is better than you, but he's not giving that opportunity. So now the person will tell, if you cannot get this quality from me, I know collect the work. So it now makes you do. So what I want is like to pick a law. There should be a law on photography, serious law. You understand? So any event, it's you that is covering it, nobody else. That's just it.
Also speaking, documentary photojournalist Mr. Solomon Dapper highlighted the demanding nature of photojournalism while distinguishing it from conventional event photography. Dapper acknowledged the growing importance of artificial intelligence, but maintained that AI cannot replace professional photographers. According to him, AI should be seen as a tool that enhances rather than threatens the profession. He stressed the need for photographers to be valued and recognized for their contribution to society, particularly in documenting memories, history, and cultural heritage.
That was transformed, so people now switched to digital. So those analog ideas helped me, to transfer to digital. Yeah. So those things I learned, once you take a shot, you must make sure your shots are perfect, because in analog, once you make one mistake, the film is gone. So imagine now that we have digital, you now have to start taking shot. You look at it in analog, you can't look at it until it gets to the dark room. So those errors were not errors where you must make a mistake. They were errors that once you take your shot, you've taken your shot. I've not checked, and this is the latest Canon R8. So it's nothing less than 2 million, only the body. Then you now talk about the lens. This tripod alone is nothing less than 150K. Then you now talk about the accessories. You talk about the speed light. Some people you talk about some lenses. For instance, I shoot 3 lenses. One of the lenses had issue recently. To buy another one, used one. I mean used one from UK. UK used 2.5 million. This was something I bought some years back at 1 million naira. Now they are telling me it's 2.5 million. So you call me to come and cover your event. I give you bill, say 2 million or 3 million. Don't forget, inside that money, I will give you I'll produce the work, I'll get my team to shoot, we'll now do post-production. From that same money, I'll still pay my team. Have you considered fuel, man, hour time, all of these things? So sometimes when some people give you bill, they feel like, no be just to consider picture. They should stop commonizing both photographers and videographers.
Photography has created a lot of impact because there are those who heard their stories before we were even born. And today we see those people on documentary and bringing back the memories of what we heard in history. That's what photography has done in the world today, and it's a great impact. Retaining that memory, the memory of the past, bringing it to the future, is a great impact. Like what happened here today, we have an ugly experience here today where you see the protocols from federal level trying to handle the photographers and the cinematographers here. So if the issue of photography is being looked into and the government gives credence to the photography, this event that happened today will not happen. So everybody will be given respect to it is in spite of whatever you do in life. So that's my own recommendation.
On a national scene, Senator Muhammad Ali Ndume, representing Borno South Senatorial District, has called on the Nigerian military to intensify efforts towards the rescue of victims abducted from communities across southern Borno, including the school children from Musa and Lassa, passengers abducted along the Borutai axis, and the remaining victims from Ngoshi. Ndume made the appeal during a visit to the Theatre Command Northeast Operation in Kai, where he commended the Nigerian military for its sustained efforts in combating insurgency and restoring relative peace across the region. The senator, who is also a member of the Senate Committee on Army, said his visit was to appreciate the military and to draw renewed attention to the plight of families whose loved ones remain in captivity. He noted that some of the victims have now spent more than 100 days away from their families, creating deep anxiety among relatives and communities. This comes after the Nigerian Army disclosed plans to recruit about 1,000 southern Borno youths, mostly from Gozal local government area of Borno State, into the military as part of efforts to strengthen security and improve military presence across southern Borno and adjoining parts of Adamawa State. Meanwhile, the federal government has called on state governments to complement its efforts in evacuating and resettling Nigerians at risk abroad, warning that no citizen should be abandoned to an uncertain fate. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, met the appeal in an updated post on her X handle, saying that states must assist in cushioning the difficult process of relocation and resettlement of their returning indigents under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's citizen diplomacy agenda. Her appeal for assistance comes as a new batch of 83 Nigerian nationals evacuated from South Africa following continued xenophobic attack and anti-foreigner sentiments in the country. She commended 3 states, including Imo, Abia and Enugu State, for their intervention so far. The minister also appreciated all the well-meaning Nigerian individuals and groups, home and abroad, for their support and efforts in responding to and assisting Nigerian nationals facing consular challenges and emergencies overseas. Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Environment has blamed blocked manholes and underground drainage channels for worsening the flash flood that occurred at Blantyre Crescent at Datakumbo at Demola Wuse 2, Abuja. In a technical report prepared by the Department of Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management following an on-the-spot assessment of the area, the ministry said silt, solid waste and debris found in several manholes and drainages inlets had restricted the flow of storm water, causing the drainage system to surcharge during the heavy rainfall. The inspection was carried out by a technical team led by the director of the department, Usman Abdullahi Bukani, following a directive from the Ministry of Environment. According to the report, intense rainfall triggered rapid urban runoff but blocked drainage inlets, and restricted underground conveyance increased the volume of water accumulating on the surface. The ministry also expressed concern over evidence of sewage contaminated water at several locations within Abuja city centers, stressing that contamination can be linked to gross connections, drainage surcharge, or poor maintenance of the drainage and wastewater networks. The report called for an integrity assessment of the affected networks to identify the source of the sewage contamination and determine whether damage or illicit connections existed. We move to education, where the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has clarified its policy on underage candidates seeking admission into tertiary institutions, explaining the conditions under which they may be considered for admission. JAMB, in a post on its X account, said a candidate is considered underage if he or she is below 16 years of age or before September 30th of the admission year. Examination body explained that the September 30th age threshold is a policy instituted by the Federal Ministry of Education. JAMB clarified that candidates below the age of 16 are permitted to sit for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME), but such candidates will be classified as underage candidates, noting that an underage candidate must meet additional requirements to qualify for admission consideration. The board further explained that underage candidates are generally not considered for admission unless they meet the criteria for exceptional candidates, and also stressed that admission ultimately depends on the institution chosen by the candidate. In politics, political economist and leadership advocate Professor Patutomi has called for electoral debate to become a mandatory feature of Nigeria's electoral process, arguing that they provide voters with critical insight into the competence, preparedness, and character of political candidates. Otomi, who met the call in an interview with newsmen while discussing the relevance of the National Peace Accord and political debates ahead of the elections, said the tradition of encouraging political candidates to sign peace accord should be sustained, as it offers voters an opportunity to assess the attitude of those seeking public office. He noted that the debate allowed Nigerians to access the candidates beyond their campaign messages by observing their demeanor, confidence, and ability to connect with the electorate. Otomi said Nigeria should not only retain electoral debates but increase their frequency, arguing that candidates who are adequately prepared would have little reason to avoid them. He argued that debates could help Nigerians develop a clearer national agenda rather than allowing politicians to focus solely on issues that advance their short-term interests, urging Nigeria's political class to place the future of young Nigerians at the center of the national conversation. Meanwhile, former Vice President and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress (ADC), Atiku Abubakar, says he will restore the petrol subsidy if elected president in 2027. Atiku met the promise during an interview, accusing the federal government of failing to account for the funds saved following the removal of the subsidy. Atiku argues that the removal of the subsidy could have been justified if the savings had been transparently channeled into development projects and measures to improve Nigerians' welfare. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu in May 2023 had announced the removal of the petrol subsidy in his inaugural address, triggering an immediate increase in petrol prices and a rise in the cost of living across the country. In other news, at a crime scene in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons (NAPTIP) has sealed the suspected illegal maternity facility and arrested 3 people over an alleged 13.5 million naira baby sale involving a Liberian national residing in Belgium. The agency said the suspects included the owner of the facility, an alleged facilitator of the baby cell, and a member of staff. A statement by NAPTIP's head of press and public relations unit, Vincent Adekoye, said the facility, located in the Elelewon area of Port Harcourt, was allegedly operating from a residential apartment. The operation was carried out jointly by NAPTIP operatives from Abuja and Rivers State in collaboration with officials of the Rivers State Ministry of Health, following intelligence about a suspected child trafficking syndicate involved in the procurement, sale, and unlawful transfer of children. NAPTIP explained that preliminary investigation indicated that the Liberian national arrived in Nigeria without evidence of pregnancy, but allegedly took custody of 3 children within about 1 month. In Africa, a former Zambian cabinet minister has been shot dead during a security operation at the home of opposition leader Brian Mundibili, days after President Hakainde Hichilema won a second term amid opposition claims of irregularities and intimidation. According to police, security forces encountered gunfire and resistance from unidentified individuals during the raid and returned fire. An unidentified man was fatally wounded and a firearm was recovered, according to the authorities. Authorities later confirmed the dead man was Kafaya, a former cabinet minister and opposition parliamentarian. The government noted that the raid was aimed at dismantling a suspected militia that posed a serious threat to state security. The report says 11 people has been arrested during the operation, including 3 former commandos described by police as having extensive military experience. Away from that, Liberia has charged former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor with drug trafficking, money laundering, and related offenses in an investigation into an alleged transnational narcotics network. She's detained while attempting to leave the country, marking a major development in Liberia's drug crackdown. The Justice Ministry said Joel Howard Taylor, who served as Liberia's vice president from 2018 to 2024, was stopped while attempting to leave Liberia through Roberts International Airport and was taken to Liberia National Police Headquarters. She faces charges including the unlicensed importation, sale, distribution, and transportation of controlled substances, as well as criminal solicitation, felicitation, conspiracy, and money laundering, and will be tested through the legal process. Liberian authorities have also charged 3 foreign nationals in absentia over their alleged roles in the suspected narcotics network. On the foreign scene, at least 50 Palestinians whose bodies were retrieved recently from the rubble have been laid to rest in Gaza City in the latest mass funeral held in the enclave for victims of Israel's war on Gaza. The funeral ceremony came weeks after search and rescue teams recovered the bodies from the site of Israeli airstrike in the early months of the war, which began in October 2023 from the neighborhoods of Tel Aviv, Zayton, Zabra, and Sheikh Ratwan and Shati. The victim came from several families, including the Al-Shawa Firi, Al-Baniji, and Gabiya families. Families of several others missing people continue to look for their remains beneath the rubble, with Gaza Civil Defense estimating some 8,000 Palestinians are still missing and believed to be buried under the collapsed buildings. Meanwhile, at least 13 people have been killed and 40 injured in the latest Russian strikes targeting the Ukrainian capital. Ukraine's Prime Minister Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said, as Kyiv continues to face a shortage of air defense missiles, apartment blocks and warehouses were struck across the city overnight. The State Emergency Service of Ukraine explained that while the children's hospital and school were also damaged, the deaths were the result of a shortage of air defense missiles. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Kyiv relies on Western allies to supply ammunition, adding that as long as Ukraine does not have enough anti-ballistics, Russia will not seriously think about peace.
Pulled people out from under the rubble. In Solomiansky district, the top 2 floors of a 9-story residential building were destroyed and fires broke out on other floors. People were also trapped in 2 residential buildings and a school shelter.
Federal government approves 558 billion naira projects to upgrade National Hospital, construct Cancer Center. To stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us, and now to the rest of the news stories. In business, Nigeria's Finance Minister Taiwo Oyedele has criticized Nigerians who attacked the World Bank over its lending to the country. Oyedele spoke in Abuja at a media briefing on the Nigerian government's economic reform scorecard, acknowledging that some Nigerians stick to the World Bank social media accounts to abuse the institution over its decision to lend money to the country. He explained that the World Bank is subsequently forced to disable comments on its social media platforms, adding that the critics' actions showed a lack of understanding of how the lending system works. The minister urged Nigerians to have adequate knowledge to effectively hold the government accountable. Meanwhile, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, says it has not imposed a blanket ban on e-hailing services such as Uber and Bolt at the nation's airport, noting that discussions are ongoing with the operators to establish a workable framework for their operations. FAAN made the clarification in a statement following reports and concerns over the status of e-hailing services in some Nigerian airports. The authority stressed that its position is not aimed at restricting passengers' access to transportation options or undermining the role of e-hailing platforms in providing convenient mobility to air travelers. According to the authority, airports are highly regulated environments requiring all commercial transportation services operating on their premises to have appropriate frameworks that allow FAAN to maintain visibility over their operations, vehicles, and drivers. It said such arrangements are also necessary to ensure effective coordination in the event of security and passenger-related incident. The authority added that it has been engaging relevant e-hailing operators to develop a mutually workable framework that recognizes the value of their services while addressing safety, security, accountability, and passenger experience requirements. In health, the Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved infrastructure projects worth more than 558 billion naira for the National Hospital, Abuja, and the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment. Minister of Health and Social Welfare Ali Pate, who disclosed this while briefing newsmen after the weekly FEC meeting, said the approvals are part of the federal government's efforts to upgrade specialized healthcare infrastructure and strengthen the country's capacity for advanced medical treatment, research, and training. The minister explained that the National Hospital has not received sufficient investment in infrastructure and equipment to fulfill its original vision, acknowledging that the latest approvals followed President Bola Tinubu's directive to improve healthcare infrastructure and equipment across the country. Pate said the institute will strengthen the country's capacity to treat conditions including stroke, brain tumors, and other diseases affecting the brain and nervous system. Defending the scale of investment in healthcare infrastructure, the minister admitted that quality healthcare is not cheap. Nigeria has to invest in the health sector. And while the senior manager for prevention programs at the AIDS Healthcare Foundation Tafik Adeleye has warned Nigerians against using palm oil, vegetable oil, and other oil-based substances as lubricants during sexual activity, saying water-based lubricants are the safer options when condoms are used. Adeleye, who spoke at a national training of media personnel on HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis organized by the National Agency for the Control of AIDS and the World Health Organization (WHO), urged people to ensure that they use condoms or the appropriate size and take precautions before engaging in sexual activity as part of efforts to reduce the risk of HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. He advised men to be conscious of their sexual environment and avoid taking unnecessary risks. In sports, Kennedy Boboye will take charge of Edo Queens at the 2026 WAFU B Women's Champions League in Burkina Faso. Boboye will stand in for Edo Queens substantive head coach Moses Adoku, who is currently away on national duty. Adoku, who also served as head coach of Nigeria's under-20 women's team, the Falcons will lead the team at the 2026 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Poland next month. The report says Boboye brings a wealth of experience and top-level coaching expertise to Edo Queens as the Benin City club begins its quest for continental glory. Edo Queens have been drawn in Group B alongside Cote d'Ivoire's ASEC Mimosas, Ghanaian side Ampem Dakar FC, and Asgrade of Niger Republic, and will be aiming to win the WAFU B Women's Champions League for the second time, having emerged champions on their maiden appearance 2 years ago. Meanwhile, OGC Nice and Bundesliga's club Hamburg have reached an agreement for the transfer of Nigerian striker Terry Murphy. According to reports, Nice have accepted Hamburg's offer for the 27-year-old, although the transfer fee was not disclosed. Hamburg have been tackling the Nigerian international for several weeks as they look to strengthen their attacking options. The German club will look to agree personal terms with Murphy before completing the move. Says Murphy spent the second half of last season on loan at Portuguese champions FC Porto, where he scored once in 9 league appearances. Meanwhile, Lionel Messi has scored his first goal since his father's death, but Inter Miami has to settle for a 2-2 Major League Soccer draw against the Philadelphia Union. The Argentine superstar gave Miami a 2-1 lead in the 26th minute with a trademark calling left-footed shot into the far corner. After a restrained celebration with teammates in which he allowed himself a brief smile, the Miami captain did his trademark celebration of pointing towards the sky over Philadelphia. Messi was instrumental in Miami's first goal just 5 minutes earlier as he picked up a run down the left flank from Uruguayan forward Luis Suarez, who headed the ball across for a close-range finish by young American Daniel Pinter. The hosts secured a point thanks to goals from Indiana Vasiliev in the 11th minute and Nel Pieri in the 58th minute. On entertainment, veteran actor Jide Kosoko has appealed to fans and colleagues to continue praying for ailing actor Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo. Kosoko made the appeal in a statement shared on his Instagram page, speaking on behalf of Hassan's family and colleagues, saying his medical conditions currently makes it impossible to move him from the hospital where he is receiving treatment. According to him, more than 300 and possibly over 500 people have offered different forms of assistance, with many believing they have treatments or interventions that could help the actor. Kosoko also appealed to individuals who had offered traditional, spiritual, or specialized treatment not to take offense at the family's decision to keep Hassan at his current hospital, and urged supporters to continue praying for the actor as his family and colleagues navigate the situation. He expressed appreciation for the overwhelming support and offers and assistance received since news of Hassan's illness emerged. Still on entertainment, Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has denied any link to the attack that occurred outside the palace of the Ataujo of Oshobo Oba Jimoh Oyetunji. The incident reportedly happened shortly after Osun State Governor Demola Adeleke, Davido's uncle, visited the monarch. Reports say suspected hoodlums were said to have attacked the governor's convoy, triggering an exchange of gunfire with security personnel. Reacting on his official X account, Davido, who noted that the shooting lasted between 12 and 15 minutes, said the clash had no connection to him or the governor.
The gunfire between assailants and the governor's security detail reportedly lasted 12 to 15 minutes before the convoy safely cleared the area. Official updates on security report and state affairs can be checked on the Osun State Government official portal. Following the governor's visit to the monarch's palace,
Meanwhile, Guinness World Record holder Hilda Bassi is demanding an apology from musician Shay Vibes over a defamatory post. In a now deleted post on his ex page, Shay Vibe claimed that Hilda Bassi's food almost killed him after her partner, the CEO of Dapper Music, gave it to him. The post, which was meant to mock Akinwumi, with whom he was feuding, invariably denigrated the culinary skills and quality of the meal of the celebrity chef who holds the Guinness World Record for the largest pot of jollof rice. In a statement by Hilda Bassi's lawyers, Olaniwon Ajayi, Shay Vibes is accused of making the libelous post viewed approximately 4.3 million times before it was deleted, adding that their client has been exposed to unwarranted, persistent and escalating harassment across various social media platforms. Hilda Bassi, through her lawyer, made some demands, including the permanent removal of the publication, a public apology and retraction, and a call on its followers and fans to desist from further harassment. That's it on CEMTV News at 6, but before we go, a quick recap of the major stories. We started off by informing you that Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has received Vice President Shatima to the inauguration of 33.5 kilometers Elele Umudioga Ebede Ikiri Umuoku Road. We also informed you that the federal government has urged state governments to support the repatriation efforts of South African returnees. Still in the news, we reported that mass funeral has been held for 50 Palestinians killed in Israel's war. We also told you that the federal government has approved over 5 billion naira projects to upgrade national hospitals and construction of cancer center. Many thanks for watching CEMTV News at 6. To ensure to follow us across our social media platform at CEMTV Plus on Facebook, X, Thread and Instagram. We're also available on Nicomsat. Do well to watch us on all free to air. I am Francis Oyima Edit. To enjoy the rest of your day and bye for now.